Deep in the impenetrable forests of the Colombian Amazon, where rivers cut through the endless foliage, lies a mystery that has challenged explorers and scientists for centuries. This is a story of ancient peoples lost in time and of the people who risked everything to uncover their secrets. In the mid-19th century, in an era of great geographical discoveries, Italian cartographer and geographer Austin Cody set out on an ambitious mission. He wanted to map the unexplored territories of New Granada, today's Colombia. Born in Italy but with a passion for Latin America, Cody dedicated himself to expanding his knowledge of this mysterious continent. With his team of local guides and a few brave helpers, he ventured deep into the jungle, confronting unpredictable rivers, dangerous animals, and tropical diseases. As his team made their way through the dense vegetation, they encountered something never seen before: massive rock walls covered in mysterious paintings. The paintings were revealed before them. These images were not just random scribbles, they depicted scenes of hunting, ritual dances, mythical creatures, and symbols that seemed to have deep meaning. The figures were carved and painted with such detailed precision that Cody realized the significance of his discovery. He recorded everything in his journals, making sketches and descriptions, but due to the limited time available and the dangers of the region, information remained limited. Cody tried to decipher the meaning of these symbols, but his discovery was generally neglected by the scientific community, leaving him alone with this conundrum. Years passed, and the mystery of the rock paintings remained hidden in the shadows of the jungle. In 1943, American ethnobotanist Richard Evans Schultz embarked on a journey of his own in search of rare medicinal plants and to learn more about indigenous knowledge. Known for his research on psychoactive plants, he became interested in their use by local tribes. Schultz searched for new species with potential medicinal properties. While interacting with Native American communities, he heard the legends of ancestral paintings, sacred sites where the spirits of the past spoke through the images on the rocks. Driven by scientific curiosity and respect for the local culture, Schultz headed to Saña de la Lindosa, a remote mountainous region in the department of Guaviare. After a long journey through inaccessible terrain, he finally found himself in front of majestic rock formations where he discovered vast galleries of rock paintings. Schultz was struck by what he saw. The paintings included not only scenes from the daily lives of ancient people but also incredible depictions of animals that have now disappeared from the face of the earth. He understood that these drawings could provide invaluable information about the cultures that once inhabited the region. Using a camera and notebook, he documented as many of the images as he could, realizing that time and the elements could erase these ancient works of art. Despite Cody and Schultz's efforts, the rock paintings remained little known outside of scientific circles and were somewhat neglected. In the 1980s, as technology developed and interest in archaeology grew, new teams of researchers headed to the Amazon. They managed to capture the first high-resolution images of the rock paintings, revealing details that had previously been invisible. The images caused a sensation in the scientific community. The details were striking, from complex geometric shapes to realistic depictions of animals and people. Researchers began analyzing the symbolism, trying to decipher the ancient artists' messages. Some suggested that individual drawings might represent calendar systems, maps of the starry sky, or even stories of the origins of tribes. But in 2020 came the real breakthrough. An international team of archaeologists, led by Professor José Iriarte from the University of Exeter, stumbled upon a discovery they called the Sistine Chapel of the Ancients. They uncovered a series of rock paintings, stretching for 13 kilometers, 8 miles, in Saña de la Lindosa. The thousands of Ice Age drawings included both handprints and geometric shapes, as well as a wide range of animals, from small creatures like deer, tapirs, alligators, bats, monkeys, turtles, snakes, and porcupines to large ones like mastodons, giant sloths, camels, horses, and three-toed ungulates. Other figures depicted people, hunting scenes, and interactions with plants, trees, and savanna creatures. Although there were also animals in Ice Age rock paintings in central Brazil, the newly discovered ones were more detailed and shed light on what these now extinct species looked like more than 12,000 years ago. Archaeologist Mark Robinson of the University of Exeter said of the discovery, "It's amazing to us today that they lived and hunted giant herbivores, some the size of a small car." The areas around the rock shelters were also explored, revealing details about the people who lived there at the time, confirming that these were some of the earliest known inhabitants of the Colombian Amazon. Bones and plant remains showed that these communities were hunters who ate fruit from palm and other trees, as well as snakes, frogs, capybaras, and armadillos. Dr. Robinson and his colleagues reveal they also hunted piranhas and alligators in nearby rivers. Small tools have also been found. These rock paintings are spectacular evidence of how people have changed the land and how they hunted, grew plants and fished, says Professor Jose Iriarte, who led the team and is also from Exeter. Art was probably a very important part of the culture and a way for people to connect socially. The images show how people lived among giant, now extinct animals that they hunted, he adds. Then the media and social networks began to spread the word about this amazing discovery. Documentaries, articles, and interviews began to draw the attention of millions of people around the world to the topic. It is important to note that some sources erroneously claim that the rock paintings were discovered only recently. They ignore the decades of work by researchers such as Cody and Schultz, as well as the knowledge of local communities who have always been the custodians of these sacred sites. Indigenous tribes such as the Llanos and Tucanos have a deep connection to the rock paintings. For them, they are not just images but part of their spiritual identity. The drawings tell stories of creation, of heroes and gods, and serve as a link between the past and the present. Many of these tribes have been isolated from the outside world and now face the challenges of modernity in preserving their culture. The drawings are impressive not only for their scale but also for the detail and variety of the scenes depicted. The creatures depicted, which became extinct thousands of years ago, confirm the age of the drawings and provide valuable data about the region's ecosystem during the Ice Age. Scientists are using state-of-the-art technology to study and preserve the rock drawings. Laser scanning, 3D modeling, and spectral analyzers allow detailed study without physical contact, protecting fragile surfaces from damage. Analyses show that the drawings are over 12,500 years old, making them some of the oldest known in the world. However, researchers are particularly interested in the images of megafauna, as they provide direct evidence of the presence of these animals in the region during the Ice Age. This, in turn, helps to reconstruct the climatic and ecological conditions at that time. For example, images of mastodons, ancient relatives of elephants, speak of a colder and drier climate than today's tropical environment. One of the interesting aspects associated with these drawings is their artistic value. The images are made with red pigment, probably derived from ochre, and show a high level of skill and observation. The artists have used the natural shapes and relief of the rocks to give three-dimensionality to their works. In addition to animals, the paintings include depictions of people wearing elaborate ornaments and weapons. Scenes of hunting and rituals show the social structure and cultural practices of ancient communities. Some of the symbols are still unsolved, and many questions have been raised about their meaning and function. One of the most fascinating theories is that these drawings may represent a form of prehistoric communication or even primitive writing. The symbols and patterns display a complexity that suggests a high level of cultural development. This changes our understanding of ancient civilizations in South America, and their contributions to human history. Unfortunately, Today the region faces many threats, including illegal logging, mining, and urbanization. Erosion and climate change are also putting the rock gallery at great risk and contributing to the damage to the paintings. The discovery of the rock paintings at Sanya de la Lindosa is definitely changing the way we understand the history of humanity, not only in South America but also in the world. It provides evidence that ancient people were capable of complex artistic expression and had a deep connection with the environment and animals around them. It challenges a re-evaluation of previous theories about migration and the development of cultures in the region. For researchers like Professor Iriarte, this is just the beginning. These drawings are just the tip of the iceberg, he says. They open doors to a past we are only now beginning to understand. His team plans to continue their research, hoping to uncover more hidden treasures and unravel the mysteries of the ancient artists. It seems, however, that this rock art is not an isolated case. At the same time, another civilization was flourishing thousands of miles away in what is now Bulgaria. There, it built the megalithic high-energy complex of Tachel, and in a cave called Magura, similar paintings to those from Amazonia have been found, some of them dated to roughly the same period. But you can learn more about this story in the video you see on the left.